This is Pat back again. We had ended the last session, I guess, talking about the spiritual meaning behind the building of Angkor Wat. And I do want to mention, if you look at the picture on the right part of the screen, you'll see these intricate carvings on the inner courtyard, which are Aspara dancers, which are also mediators between humanity and God. Very beautiful. Diving into the other part of why this was built would be on a practical level, and water storage. They were masters, the Khmer Empire were masters of administration of storing water, collecting rainfall from the monsoon rains from July to November of every year so that they could utilize it during the dry season, the other 6 months. And they did that through the moats, the ponds, reservoirs, and a huge system of canals where they would collect the rainwater coming down from the mountains to save it for use for another time. The buildings at Angkor Wat and a lot of the other temples are made of sandstone. In this case, it is not overgrown by trees or vegetation, but it is susceptible to the elements. Sandstone is not your strongest rock, like granite. It's like the Grand Canyon, it just weathers away, and there certainly is evidence here of weathering and erosion for sandstone. Other parts of the complex at the top from, which is another little community within the same complex, you do see evidence of growth, shrubs, trees, lichen, everything is eroding the foundation of that. Here's another bird's eye view. If you look in the south, you'll see that there is a drying up of the moat surrounding the temple. And right here, if you look very carefully, you'll see a cross-shaped raised platform. It's a cruciform terrace, which is part of the entryway into the west end of Angkor Wat. And again, it faces west towards the setting sun because it's a funerary chapel. And this is a lot of fun, is to just get on your hands and knees and climb to the top of them and look down at your friends. That's the way I'd try to do it, but there are other ways to get up. Some of them have wooden staircases, but a lot of them are so eroded away that for safety purposes they won't allow climbers to get on those. And a last bird's eye view of the same temple of Angkor Wat, the sanctuary. You can clearly see the cruciform cross-shaped platform there at the entrance. What's unique about this is that on the inner wall is a long way, whipped off just like a museum, and it's just a beautiful story that is told through carvings and bas-reliefs. It just goes on forever. The seasons are implicated. For instance, this is spring, signifying rebirth in the east, and opposite of that would be winter, signifying reflection and stagnant. So all 4 seasons are represented by each of the corners. Sir Yavarman II was the person that was buried here. He was the first king that established the communities, and he called himself the Universal Monarch. His god was Vishnu, and he was a Hindu, of course. And then it turned Buddhist, and J.R. Arvin VII was a Buddhist king, and he believed in animistic gods. And that is the end of part 2 of 3. Thank you so much.